My oldest daughter threw a party which led to awful things happening to my youngest, and now I can't forgive her. I feel resentful of her. To start off, I'm a widow and have 3 children, but in this post I'll be focused on my 2 youngest daughters, Leah, 14 female, and Maya, 18 female. For a little background, Leah was essayed by 4 men back in December. How this incident accrued was Maya threw a party while I was working the night shift, and 4 of the boys that were attendants at this party essayed Leah. It's been devastating to say the least. Leah has lost all of her spark and quit cheer. Plus on top of that, she opted out of her freshman year by just continuing to do courses online. She doesn't sleep in her room anymore but with me, and just wears my late husband's hoodies all day, and I feel so helpless as a mother because I don't know how I can help her. Throughout the investigation, a lot of things came out regarding Maya's part in this. She did not set up her little sister, however, I feel like she severely neglected her, and all of this could have been avoided if she just followed my rules. I never approved a party. I left her in charge of watching Leah, and before you guys say, well, you're her mother, it's not her job to watch your kid, but the thing is, it was her job. I pay her really well to look after her sister while I work nights. It's been an agreement we had for years. Leah is not special needs in any way. The only thing I asked of Maya is that she make sure her sister does her homework and gets to bed at a reasonable time. The men that essayed Leah, Maya invited herself. She knew them personally and knew they were affiliated to gangs and didn't care. Instead, what I found out in this investigation is that she tried to get Leah with one of these boys and Leah was not interested. This boy was harassing Leah all night, trying to get her to kiss him. Then Leah had enough and went to her room, and the moment Maya left the house to go to McDonald's, that same boy and his friends went up to my daughter's room and essayed her. The worst part about this to me is that people that were at the party heard her yelling and did not do anything but just assume a couple was arguing upstairs. We didn't know what happened until the next morning when the party was over. Having her do a kit was traumatizing for her and probably the worst moment as a parent for me. Then a couple weeks later she tested positive for a curable STD. My baby has been so broken ever since. Even though they did get those boys and all 4 pleaded guilty because they had evidence on their phone. But it's still so extremely hard for Leah right now. Maya on the other hand has been remorseful, and Leah has no animosity towards her and doesn't blame her, still loves her sister. But I don't know why for me, I'm so angry at Maya and I've been really trying to forgive her, but I can't as of now. I can't even look at her without not wanting to lash out. Her prom is next weekend and I honestly couldn't care less. She tries to have conversations with me, but it's hard for me to show any interest in them. I don't hate my daughter, I still love her. But I just have strong dislike for her right now. I've been reading self-help books trying to learn how to address this properly. I feel like I can't open up to anyone about this in life. I guess this may be cry for help as a mother. Edit, the most repetitive question I'm seeing is if Maya still watches Leah? The answer is hell no. I don't trust her anymore and it might take years to get it back. I'm on a leave of absence currently. Also, Leah is not in therapy as of right now. She expressed to me she's not ready for that. I think after the sentencing she might be open to it. Maya is also in therapy but skips a lot of appointments, and I'm in therapy too, and it's been helping me remain calm throughout this situation, and not want to lash out at Maya. But the number one advice that I'm seeing in here that I'm strongly considering is sending Maya to my parents' house for a while and get some space from her. Second edit, for the ones asking if Maya is in a gang, to my knowledge she isn't. The most I have ever caught her doing was doing za and vaping. I also don't want to think Maya would ever intentionally set up her sister to be brutally assaulted. So I'm leaning towards Maya genuinely was being plain neglectful that night. Also, I feel like it would have came up in the investigation if she intentionally set up Leah. Also, the boy Maya was trying to set Leah up with was 17 at the time. He's 18 now and the other 3 were grown men. Update 1 week later, a lot has progressed in the past couple of days and it would be only right to update you guys on what happened. But to answer multiple questions I received from my last post asking why hasn't Maya been further punished. To put it quite simply, Maya was arrested the night of Leah's attack. She was charged with felony child endangerment and 2 misdemeanors. The judge was very nice to her and made her pay a $2,000 fine, 60 hours of community service and 3 years probation. Plus I took her car, but after this update, I maybe should have given her a harsher punishment. But back to the update. On Thursday afternoon, me and Maya got into a fight. The dispute happened because Leah came to me virtually upset and on the verge of tears, because 5 people messaged her that day expressing condolences about her attack. Leah has been very clear she doesn't want anyone that she knows to know that she was the victim of the attack. Upon further investigation, it turns out Maya told a group chat of 27 people that Leah was the victim. Leah vocalized to me how humiliated she feels and that she can't ever go back to school next year. I of course then go confront Maya about it. She kept saying I was overreacting and that Leah was being dramatic. I tried to reason with her to see how she hurt her sister and she did not see the issue. She stopped me off mid-lecture from me and said, "Jesus Christ, Mom, you need to let her deal with this crap instead of always rushing to her defense. Leah is not different from other women in the world that deal with SA, at least they don't make it their entire personality like she does. Also, she's fine." I literally overheard her talk to a boy on the phone last night. It just clicked for me at that moment that she was not actually remorseful at all and that I just witnessed her mask slip. I just responded with "pack your crap up," and that she will be staying with my parents until I allow her back. That's exactly what she did. But the next morning I got a text from Maya to meet her at her therapy appointment that was later that day. Looking back, I wish I had never gone because her therapist the majority of the visit only saw her point of view, but at the start of the appointment, it opened up with Maya apologizing and explaining her thought process of why she told her friends, and it was because she was venting, plus she didn't think of it as a big deal because it's a public case that was on the news and Leah seems fine these days. Leah is listed as a Jane Doe and not named nowhere, but I digress. We then get into the nitty-gritty of it all. Maya then tells me in front of the therapist that she feels emotionally neglected by me and that I never seemed to care about her trauma when it came to the situation. Which is for her is having to stay in jail for a weekend and losing one of her friends, which is one of Leah's literal assassinators. I wish I can say I'm joking, but I'm dead serious. We were talking about that for the first 30 minutes. Her therapist was guilt-tripping me for not being more emotionally there for Maya and that I should try to see as her mom since their father is no longer with us. But call me an awful parent, but I don't want to be emotionally there for Maya if it involves me having to help her mourn the friendship of the person that ruined her sister's life. The therapist was on one, especially since she kept referring to what happened to Leah as an accident or that Leah seems happier these days because that's what Maya has been telling her, when Leah is quite literally high off antidepressants and still scores extremely low on the mental health evaluation. But I finally just had an outburst. Feel free to skip over the next paragraph, because there is a massive trigger warning. I get very graphic here. But I'm just reiterating what I said. What I said to both Maya and her therapist was, I think it's kind of disgusting that the two of you are refusing to acknowledge Leah's trauma in this and keep referring to it as an accident. You spend a weekend in jail, while your sister was in the hospital suffering from something your friend did to her. Ironically enough, if you ever listen to Leah, she has said that friend of yours was the most violent towards her during the attack and was the catalyst for the majority of injuries she sustained, including strangling her. So for you guys to sit here and berate me for not caring that you lost your friend because of something terrible your friend did to your sister is absolutely disgusting. My biggest regret right now is helping you obtain a lawyer. I should have let you rot in that cell and let you figure it out yourself. Maya started sobbing in the office at this point and saying it wasn't fair that I blamed her for what happened to Leah. She told me the only thing she was trying to do was have Leah come out of her shell because she kept hovering next to her at the party. The therapist then interjects and asks Maya how did Leah respond to her when she apologized. Maya in such a defensive manner says, apologize for what? I didn't essay her. Even the therapist was shocked when she said that, and at that point, I heard enough and I stood up, threw my hands up and left. I haven't spoken to Maya since then, and this was Friday afternoon. Maya has been texting me and calling me begging to come home so she can apologize to both me and Leah. But I don't know at this point. I never thought I would be that parent that will have to go no contact with my daughter. But I don't know if I can stomach being around her. I can't trust her and she's not remorseful whatsoever about what happened. A part of me wants to try to make it work for the sake of Leah because she asked yesterday if she ruined our family. And that broke my heart. Leah loves and looks up to Maya, and I don't think she can comprehend at this time that Maya also failed her. I'm just stuck, or tell me if I'm wrong for not understanding Maya. I'm sorry for the not-so-happy update. Post number 3 a month after the original post, would I be the jerk if I kept my daughter's inheritance from my late husband? I have 3 kids, 24 male, 18 female and 14 female. My late husband died very unexpectedly 4 years ago due to COVID. He didn't have a will, but we had a life insurance policy that provided a $360,000 death benefit. As a spouse, I received the full amount. I decided to divide the money 4 ways. I would get $120,000, and each of my 3 kids would get $80,000. At the time, my daughters were both minors, so I told them they could access their full amount when they turned 18. However, if they ever wanted to do something pricey, I would allow them to use some of their share. Most of their needs were taken care of by me. My son was over 18, so I gave him his share right away. This arrangement was a verbal agreement, and I intended to follow through with it fully. Recently, however, my middle daughter Maya was arrested in December for child endangerment because she severely neglected her little sister, leading to something awful happening under her care. She had to use some of her $80,000 to pay for lawyer and court fees, which left her with about $65,000. Fast forward to today, and my youngest daughter is still struggling significantly. During her checkups, she scores very low on mental health evaluations and is on a high dosage of antidepressants. She often jokes that if she were to tell us or the doctors how she truly feels, she would be put in a psych ward. Maya no longer lives with us as I felt her presence was doing more harm than good to her sister. She's staying with my parents for now but has been begging me to give her the money I promised after she graduated. I've been hesitant to do so. My sister, who is familiar with the situation, believes Maya doesn't deserve the money and that I should use it to stay home longer with my youngest, who will be alone during the day once I return to work soon. With my youngest declining mental health and school being out, I'm very worried about her. Maya is about to go off to college, and I know most of the money would go toward that. However, I'm still very angry with Maya for the pain she caused her sister. I'm having a hard time making this decision. So, would I be wrong if I kept her inheritance? Tiny update, I saw a couple comments that told me I should ask Leah. I didn't flat out ask her like it was her call, to avoid putting unnecessary pressure on her about what I should do, but she told me, Mom, I think you should give it to her because I don't want her to be mad at me. She already blames me for getting kicked out. She still loves and cares about Maya. She doesn't blame her for what happened to her yet. The reason why I say yet is because I haven't sat down with her and help her fully understand what Maya did to her was wrong, and I'm honestly dreading it. She doesn't know what Maya has said about her nor doesn't know the true details why she was arrested. In her head she thinks Maya was arrested just because she threw a party. Update 41 days after the original post, my daughter begged me to let her pass away. My daughter Leah has been having a tough time with the aftermath of her essay last December. This past week has been particularly the worst for us. It started last Tuesday when a sheriff and another official visited our home. They informed us that one of Leah's assailants, the one who filmed the assault, had shared the video within a group, and now it's circulating on parts of the dark web. The video was filmed in Leah's room. It contained identifiable objects that revealed where she went to school. I was devastated upon hearing this news. Leah's reaction surprised me. She didn't cry or show much emotion. Instead, she simply shrugged and said, "I figured," before just sitting there in silence. The officials reassured us that it's uncommon for perpetrators to surface in such cases, but they felt obligated to inform us for safety reasons. After they left, Leah resumed acting as if nothing had happened, almost overly cheerful. I attempted to discuss it with her several times, but she avoided the topic. This behavior persisted throughout the week until she unexpectedly revealed that she had written a victim impact statement and wanted to read it herself in court, rather than allowing the prosecutor to do so. She felt that since there was no trial, only the charges against the essay were known, not the details of what she endured. Her statement is a detailed account of that horrific night, but she has yet to read it to me in its entirety because she breaks down in tears every time she tries. That moment was the only time I saw her express emotion all week, until Saturday night. That evening, Leah appeared unusually cheerful again and mentioned going to bed early around 8 p.m. I didn't think much of it until I received a call from one of Leah's closest friends' mother. She was concerned because Leah's last message to her daughter was a note expressing love and asking her to check on her. I rushed to Leah's room and found she had attempted to OD on ZzzQuil. As a nurse, I knew she would recover, but seeing her wake up in the hospital was heartbreaking. She screamed, "Why couldn't you just let me die? I want to die, Mom. I'm tired of feeling their hands on me. I want it to stop. Please let me die." They had to sedate her to calm her down. Following this, Leah was placed under a 72-hour psychiatric hold and subsequently transferred to a mental health facility with peers her age. The staff recommended extending her stay beyond the initial hold, but Leah has been struggling, especially with a male staff member, possibly a psychiatrist, who she says is asking invasive questions about her sexuality, causing discomfort. Staff members informed me she isn't participating in group activities and appears standoffish. They even proposed restricting her ability to contact me as a consequence, though I requested they hold off on implementing such measures. I'm uncertain if the current inpatient setting is suitable, given Leah's apparent difficulty adjusting. Her plea for her to die continues to haunt me. It's a thought I just can't shake. Leah's best friend shared additional details Leah had kept from me. There's a hurtful rumor circulating that Leah let a train be ran on her, leading to her involving the police out of embarrassment. Children can be so incredibly cruel. As far as my other daughter Maya, I haven't spoken to her in 2 weeks. But I did recently discover why Leah feels indebted to her. 2 years ago, I found inappropriate messages on Leah's phone between her and Maya's ex-boyfriend. He expressed love for Leah, and also compared her to Maya. He told her she was way prettier than Maya and he liked that she still had her card. When I told Maya, she was furious and broke up with him, but she believed Leah had betrayed her by engaging with her boyfriend. Even though Leah was 12 at the time and her boyfriend was 17. Maya still avoided Leah for 3 months afterwards, and despite Leah's efforts to apologize, Maya still holds a grudge. Leah blames herself for damaging their relationship because of this incident. Now, I find myself in the difficult position of deciding whether Leah is mentally prepared to speak at her assailant's sentencing. I fear she'll resent me for this decision, but I question if she's in a stable enough state to handle a potential traumatic event. Because these boys actually have character witnesses. Update. So I read a lot of your responses and I agree. I don't think inpatient is for her. So I'll be getting her tomorrow when her 72 hours hold is up. I'm gonna spend today researching on the right therapist for her that specializes in cases like Leah. As far as letting Leah speak at her sentencing, I'm conflicted on that still. I know I can't shield her from the world, but I just have the biggest fear that my baby will pour her heart out in the courtroom and it will be like Brock Turner all over again and they somehow just get the minimum sentence.